moms from Kentucky, Amber Shearer and Dongala Dobson, decided to take a Carnival cruise ship to the Bahamas together earlier this month. They say that on a day trip excursion to the Pirates Cove Resort, they were both drugged and raped. They appeared with Chris Cuomo last week.
This was the drink. You had one drink. It was this drink. And what happened after you had it?
We kind of decided at this point, we want to get out of the ocean. We're feeling it a little bit. We're going to look for seashells for our kids.
The man who raped me, he was the one that directed us as to where to go.
To find the shells.
To find the shells. I woke up. I came to in the process of my rape.
Different resort employee found the women unconscious in a bathroom. Back on board the ship, they took toxicology tests, which showed almost no alcohol in their systems, but various amounts of drugs, including a depressant that produces sedation and hypnosis. The Royal Bahamas Police arrested two men in connection to the alleged assaults. However, the two women have hired a lawyer furious with Carnival Cruises, claiming they failed to warn them about this. Here's why. On January 26th, just over a week before their trip, the U.S. State Department had increased the travel advisory for the Bahamas to a level 2. Means exercise increased caution due to recent increases of murders in the Bahamas. Warning of increased crime in general. This is basically one level below saying, don't go there. Pirates Cove, the resort where this all allegedly went down, has pushed back on the women's account, releasing a statement reading in part, upon further review of the surveillance videos, the allegations made on site and in subsequent social media posts and news stories conflict with what the time-stamped surveillance videos contain, but the resort hasn't released the surveillance video. Joining me now, Geraldo Rivera, the veteran award-winning journalist who's covered crime and high-profile cases for decades. NewsNation's now newest correspondent at large. Misty Maris, trial attorney and legal analyst who's been following all of the cases we'll be covering today closely. And Jesse Weber, attorney and anchor for the Law and Crime Network, where he has been, of course, following these cases. He's also a NewsNation legal contributor. All right, so Geraldo, the argument is there was this warning out there. You, Carnival Cruises, hadn't told us about it. You didn't warn us about it. And the lawyer now focusing the target at Carnival Cruises. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it's unfortunate that they're not all on the same page. First of all, that's about the civil liability that goes down the line, but the word should get out. And Carnival Cruise Line should let all of their passengers on all of their excursions tell the passengers what parents tell their daughters, what I, as the father of 3 daughters, have told them all. Don't take a drink from anybody other than the bartender. You take a drink from any suave cavalier, here, honey, how about one of these? You are in danger of being roofied. That's what happened to these women. They were roofied. Rufinol, the benzodiazepam, the common date rape drug. This story, this sad story, this melancholy, outrageous story, that's the real headline. Now, as to whether or not the ladies strayed beyond the parameters of what was authorized by the cruise ship and all the rest of that, that will be for the civil litigation. But the headline should be, don't accept a drink from anybody, not a bartender.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Misty, these are people who worked at the hotel, right, or worked at this resort. I would think that these women can say, you know, hey, we went to this well-known resort, right, and some people who worked there gave us drinks. You know, it seems to me that's not necessarily such an issue for them. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. And Geraldo makes a great point about awareness. Oh, no problem. Geraldo, you made an amazing point about raising awareness and ensuring to do everything in your power to be safe when you're on a vacation like this and realize that there are risks. To your point, Dan, I think this is going to be a central aspect of what Carnival Cruise will raise in their defense. So according to the women who went through this tragic experience, the people that approached them were dressed in uniforms. They appeared to work at the resort. Ultimately, it was determined that they did work at the resort. And so they were under the perception that these individuals were people that could be trusted. Now, Carnival Cruise is going to use that to say this was an intervening cause and that you had two people who were sitting there waiting for tourists to take advantage of, and that would cut off any liability to Carnival. Yeah. It's going to be a very fact-sensitive case because, of course, the question is, did Carnival know there was a risk of this type of violence?
Doesn't that change? Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.